Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some MLB action this Tuesday evening. The Washington Nationals versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in just a couple minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left is the left fielder, up-and-coming superstar, James Wood. And on the right, our superstar on the Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Washington Nationals. Leading off for the Nationals at shortstop, C.J. Abrams. Batting second, left fielder, James Wood. Batting third, playing first base, Nathaniel Lowe. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for the Nats, Keibert Ruiz. Batting fifth, playing second base, Luis Garcia Jr. Batting sixth, DHing for the Nats, Josh Bell. Batting seventh, playing center field, Robert Hassel III. Batting eighth, playing third base, Jose Tena. And batting ninth, playing right field, Dalen Lyle. And on the mound for the Nationals with a 4-3 record, an ERA of 4.39, Mitchell Parker. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting sixth, playing second base, Dylan Moore. Batting seventh, playing first base, Donovan Solano. Batting eighth, playing right field, Leody Taveras. And batting ninth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 2-1 record, an ERA of 3.33, it is Logan Evans. Let's go, Logan. And we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. All right, baby, let's get situated and let's get going. And obviously a pretty rough series on the road against the Stros. So we got 9 games at home. So again, we're going to have to go 6-3 or better to kind of make up some of the ground that we lost on the road with the Houston Astros. But again, I am confident that we can get the job done. Let's go, baby. All right, baby, here we go. Let's get it. Nice weather there at T-Mobile. Very hot here in Oregon. And again, we are getting that warm weather here in the Pacific Northwest. First pitch to C.J. Abrams from Logan Evans. Pitches high and outside with a four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. And we're going to need Logan to be special today. He's got to go at least 5 or 6 innings, get 5 to 6 Ks, keep his ERA, in that 3 range. If he gives up 3 runs or less, I like our chances. The magic number always is 4 to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. We get that. We should have a chance. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off with a cutter inside. 87 miles an hour there by Evans. 1 ball and 1 strike to C.J. Abrams. Top of the first inning. We're knotted up here early at 0. 1-1 pitch. fouled off again with the sweeper right in the zone, low and inside. 83 miles an hour there from Logan Evans. Let's go, Logan. We need a great start here. We need to get off to, a very, very quick start with runs, hits, RBIs, but also we need to make sure we're limiting the damage that is done on the other side. 1-2 pitch. Cutter fouled off. Third straight pitch fouled off there by C.J. Abrams. 89 miles an hour on that cutter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to C.J. Abrams. 1-2 pitch. And Abrams, big swing and a miss. Down goes C.J. Nice punch out by Logan Evans. And your first batter, you get your first punch out. That's what we love to see. Let's go, Logan. Hell yeah. Next up, the up-and-coming superstar left fielder for the Washington Nationals, left fielder James Wood. First pitch to James Wood from Logan Evans. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 88 miles an hour with that cutter. 0-1 count. Definitely have to limit the damage from James Wood. There's not really anyone else in the lineup that really scares me besides him. And hopefully we can find a way to limit his damage here today. But I also want to see him play well because, again, I haven't got to watch too much Nats, in 2025. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking, painting the corner, high and inside with a curveball. I like what I'm seeing from Logan Evans early, baby. Let's go. 0-2 pitch and another punch out. Let's freaking go. First 2 batters punched out by Logan Evans. C.J. Abrams, see ya. James Wood, see ya. Next up, first baseman in the 3-hole, Nathaniel Lowe. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start right now from Logan Evans. Essentially, he's going to be a guy that's going to be competing with Emerson Hancock as well as Bryce Miller for that last starting spot. Jacob in the building. What's good? First pitch from Logan Evans to Nathaniel Lowe. Takes a strike looking, painting the corner, high and away. 0-1 count. Man, I don't know if I've seen Logan Evans this locked in this early in a game in his career. And hopefully this will continue as the game progresses. In play on a 0-1 pitch, and Nathaniel Lowe flies out to left to Randy Arozarena. I don't know if you could have scripted a better first inning besides maybe him getting a punch out on all 3 guys. But to get a punch out on C.J. Abrams, to get a punch out on the best player on the team, James Wood, the up-and-coming prospect stud, and then to be able to get a little pop-up to Nathaniel Lowe, I think we can live with that. On the mound here in the bottom of the first inning, 4-3 record, ERA of 4.39, Mitchell Parker. And leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, center fielder Julio Rodriguez, who's been extremely hot in May. Let's continue that lightning and thunder and fire, anything that you want to call it. Julio was definitely striking out and not really getting on base and reaching for, overly aggressive swings in the first 2 pitches. And it was really frustrating, in April and March, but he definitely has got his act turned around in May, and hopefully that will continue. And batting third, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Trying to go from the home run crown. Obviously, he's got guys like Aaron Judge he's going to compete with, but we got our own very own Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani here in Seattle, and I freaking love it. Let's go, big dumper. We're going to need your bat here today. Let's go, Cal. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's get it, baby. Mitchell Parker on the mound. First pitch to J.P. Crawford. Low and away, fouled off. 0-1 count. Let's go, J.P. We're going to need you early, and we're going to need you often on base. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Nationals and Mariners. Parker on the mound, J.P. Crawford in the box. And again, we need to be able to dictate how this game is going to start based off the top of the order. J.P. on deck, Julio. and then Cal Raleigh, big dumper. Let's go. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a curveball, a couple feet off the plate, 83 miles an hour there by Parker. 1 ball and 1 strike from Parker to Crawford. Let's go, JP. One pitch, low and away with a 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour to JP Crawford. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP. Let's go, baby. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. Weather's been hot here in the Pacific Northwest. And again, I'm ready for a Mariner win. That Astros series was brutal, and we need to get off to a good start. 2-1 pitch, high and inside, tried to jam the hitter, but JP doesn't bite. 3 balls and 1 strike from Parker to Crawford. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Should have been ball 4 right there. I don't know what that ump is smoking, but I guess that's how he's going to call the game here early. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now count is full with nobody on and no outs. First batter here for the Mariners in the bottom of the first, JP Crawford. And obviously on the mound, 4-3 record, ERA of 4.39, Mitchell Parker. Let's go, JP. The gas man. I mean, we need a lot more than just Andres Munoz in the bullpen. I absolutely love what he's been doing so far this season. And hopefully we can get Brash and Legumina and Gabe Spire to be able to follow suit. And nice 3-2 hit by JP Crawford, singles to left. And that's exactly what I wanted to see right out of the gates. Way to bring that energy, way to bring that lightning. I love it. Nice job by JP. A nice single for him. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Try dance up, baby. Let's go. Let's go, J-Rod. Plenty of photos for you, my guy. First pitch, high and inside. 4-seam fastball, tries to jam Julio. He doesn't bite. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Parker to Julio. Fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, Julio. And obviously still going to be an aggressive hitter, but he is finding patience in the box more in May than he did in March and April. And obviously that's a part of this success. You know, you got to be able to be a contact hitter. You know, we know that he can go yard from time to time, but we just don't want, 1 or 2 pitch outs where you're overly compensating and trying to go for the moonshot swing every single time. And let's see if he can do it here. 1-1 pitch, back. See ya! Julio Rodriguez with a 2-run jack to left center, 394 feet. Crawford scores 2-0 Mariners. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Julio, if he keeps playing like this, he might be in the All-Star game for 2025, baby. Let's go, baby. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's the best start that you can ask for. Hell yeah. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Julio, my man. Because right now, obviously, Dan Wilson should be the manager of the American League, right? And then you got guys like Andres Munoz and Cal Raleigh. Obviously, that should be a given, right? And then obviously, if you can get, Julio Rodriguez in there as well, to have a few players make the All-Star game, Julio, Cal, Andres Munoz, and hopefully Brian Wu gets considered because he's been very good this year. But we potentially could have 4 players, in the All-Star game, not all of them starting, obviously. And then, maybe the manager. That could be potentially huge for us. First pitch, high and away with a curveball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle by Big Dumper. 1 ball and 1 strike from Parker to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Can you do it as well? We need to keep that trident hot. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch, high and away with a 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour by Mitchell Parker. 2 balls and 1 strike, and no outs and nobody on. 2-0 early lead, and if you just missed it, JP Crawford with a single to left, Julio with a big 2-run blast to give us that early 2-0 lead. Amazing. Oh, man, could you imagine if I know that they will not agree to that, but hopefully one day when they're still all in their prime, if we could get Cal, Aaron Judge, and Ohtani all in the home run derby, but some of those guys would decline because they would want rest for the actual All-Star game. Back. See See ya! Oh my God, are you kidding me? Tridents up, Cal Raleigh. Tridents up, Julio Rodriguez. 3-0 Mariners, and just like that, back-to-back homers by Julio and Cal. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Hell yeah! You kidding me? I mean, this is exactly what we want. Cal, baby. Hell yeah! First pitch to Randy Arozarena. Takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count from Parker to Randy. Now, Randy can't go yard as well, can he? Because, I mean, we're already electric right now with a home run by Julio Rodriguez, a 2-run jack, a solo dinger by Cal. I mean, I don't know if this is the type of game it's going to be, but, you know, if we can get the Trident to come out this off, the game might already be over. You know, obviously for Mariner fans, we know it's never over because our bullpen is shaky, but in the Nats' minds and their fans, they're probably thinking, shit, let's wait till tomorrow. I love this. Randy Arozarena fouls that one off behind in the count 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and Randy can't complete the trifecta. Back-to-back-to-back homers, but that's okay. But for our very first out, if it ends up being Randy in the 4-hole, I'll take that. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. First pitch to Mitch Garver, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Bottom of the first inning, 3-0 Mariners. And honestly, based on how that road trip went and only winning 1 game out of 4 against the Astros, this is exactly what we fucking needed to get our confidence back. 0-1 pitch, high and away from a 4-seam fastball from Parker. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. I mean, we already got more home runs than we did in some of those games against the Astros. 2 in the first inning. And also not just solo dingers. You know, getting JP on was huge to give us that 3-0 lead. It always looked better on the scoreboard rather than 2-0. 1-1 pitch, splitter, low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike from Parker to Garver. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Pitch fouled off by Mitch Garver. Tries to jam the hitter at the hips and does. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out with a early 3-0 Mariner lead. In play, and Mitch Garver lines out to the shortstop. Throw to first. There we go. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Let's go, baby. One of the best starts that I've seen in 2025 for the Mariners, man. And again, if there was ever a game that we needed something like this, it's definitely after only getting 1 win out of 4 against the Stros. That was embarrassing. First pitch from Parker to Demo. Takes a strike looking low and in the corner. Tries to jam the hitter at the knees and does. 0-1 count. Let's go, Demo. You've been kind of cool lately. You've been cooling off. I need you to heat up. 0-1 pitch. Almost in the same location. Called ball with that curveball. Probably could have been strike number 2, but that's what the ump called. 1 ball and 1 strike from Parker to Demo. Right now, Mitchell Parker's confidence is shaken. 4-3 record with an ERA of 4.39. But again, we need this. Let's go. 1-1 pitch. And Demo singles the left. Man, this is great. We haven't seen, this type of hitting, since we went on our 9 consecutive series wins, and quite some time ago when we were averaging about 6 runs to 10 runs a game for about a month and a half. Nice job, Demo, especially, when you're going like 0 for 4, 0 for 5 in a few games. And previously, it's nice to be able to see you get a hit at your first at-bat. Next up, first baseman Donovan Solano. Worst player on the team, but as of late, he's actually been decent. He's been able to get a hit or 2 and even get walked a couple times in that Astros series. Hopefully that will continue here where we can get Donovan with at least a hit, and maybe get on with a walk or a hit by a pitch. First pitch inside to Solano. Tries to jam him high and inside. 1-0 count. And they finally got a photo of him that I can use. It only took 50-plus games. 1-0 pitch, same location with that four-seam fastball high and inside. 2-0 count to Donovan Solano. Let's go, Solano. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking. Should have been called ball, but called strike. Man, this ump strike zone is terrible. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 3-0 lead with a 2-run jack by Julio Rodriguez with JP on board. And then right after him, back-to-back homers, big dumper with a solo dinger to make it 3-0 Mariners. Let's go, Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, baby. And Solano grounds out to third, throw to first, and got him. And that's all right. You know, again, you don't expect a whole lot out of guys like Donovan Solano, Miles Mastroboni. You know, there's going to be some of these guys, Mitch Garver. If we get anything, you know, out of those guys, it'll be a success. But again, early homers. And again, if you're just tuning in, JP had a little bloop single to left to get on board. Julio Rodriguez works the count, ends up getting a 2-run blast to left. And then right after Julio came up big dumper, goes for a solo dinger. Mariners here at the end of the first inning already have 2 homers, 3 runs, 4 hits, and we're up 3-0 as we go into the top of the second. I love it, baby. Let's go. And that definitely is great for Logan Evans, considering he's like a AAA pitcher, just like Emerson Hancock. You know, they're going to be battling it out for that last spot between Logan Evans, Emerson Hancock, and Bryce Miller. Pretty soon, we're going to get Logan Gilbert back. So we'll have Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller, or Logan Evans, or Emerson Hancock. I don't know if they'll go 6 deep in the rotation, but they could, you know, if they wanted to. But let's see if Logan can keep his hot streak going. 2-1 record, ERA of 3.33. Keep it under 3 runs in any matchup, and we should have a good chance, especially here today. Leading off here for the Nats, catcher Keibert Ruiz. On deck is second baseman Luis Garcia Jr. And batting third, DHing for the Nats, Josh Bell. Let's go Mariners. Hey, it's definitely possible that he could go for 2 homers. Cal as well. You know, anytime you get a home run in the first inning, yeah, it's definitely possible that you could get a 2 home run game, you know, by Julio or by Cal. Hell, it could be both. I mean, based on how they've been swinging the bats lately, you know, Julio doesn't use a torpedo bat, but Cal uses one from the left side and the right side. So anything is possible, obviously, here today. First pitch to Keibert Ruiz from Logan Evans is low and at the knees with a cutter, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch from Evans to Ruiz, cutter in the same location. 2 balls and no strikes from Logan Evans to Keibert Ruiz. Let's go Ems. Let's go. 2-0 pitch. In play, popped up to Big Ben Williamson. 1 away. And you can always count on Big Ben and his amazing defense. Let's go. Next up for the Nats, second baseman Luis Garcia Jr. All right, Luis, show me something, baby. First pitch to Luis Garcia Jr. takes a strike looking right down the middle with a cutter. 86 miles an hour by Logan Evans. 0-1 count. And this might be the best that I've seen Logan start the game, as well as the Mariners in the first inning. Awesome start.
Oh my gosh.
0-1 pitch. In play. And Luis Garcia Jr. flies out to right. Julio Rodriguez and Leody Taveras out there in the no-fly zone. 2 away. Down goes Luis. Next up for the Nats, DHing here today, Josh Bell. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and away in the zone. Cutter, 88 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Let's go, Logan. You're looking good, man. You're not showing signs at all that you're a AAA pitcher that just made his debut in 2025. And I actually trust him more than I do Emerson Hancock. You know, but again, we'll see. Bryce Miller is usually the guy that would have the spot. but again, he's got some elbow and back issues and maybe some mental issues as well. And Bell grounds out to the pitcher, throw to first, got him. Let's go, baby. Defense is on point here early and often. I see you. Let's go. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see if we can get some more homers, baby. Next up for the Mariners here at the bottom of the second, right fielder Leody Taveras. Batting second in the 9-hole, third baseman Ben Williamson. And back at the top of the order, the man that started it all with a single, 1-for-1 with a run, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go. High fives for everybody in the dugout, baby. Let's go, JP. Let's get on base often, baby. 3-0 Mariner lead. Love it. Hell yeah, STL. Appreciate you helping out with that. 5 more likes until we hit 20. We're going for 50 tonight. We should be able to hit that. We've been able to hit, 40 to 60 pretty much every stream, but the goal is 50, moving forward. And then once we continuously can hit 50 on a regular basis, then maybe we'll shoot for 60 and then eventually 75 and 100 once we get the volume. But so far, so good in this matchup between the Nationals and the Mariners. And I'm really excited to watch James Wood. He's really the main guy to watch on this team, an up-and-coming star. But besides him, he's really the only one that will hurt you on a daily basis typically. But we don't know if he'll do anything here today. But definitely excited to see any type of young prospect, whether it's on the Mariners or on the opposing team. If you're just tuning in to the matchup, J.P. Crawford had a little bloop single to left, got on board. Julio Rodriguez smashed the homer to 394 feet to left center to make it 2-0. Next batter up was big dumper Cal Raleigh. And what does he do? He dumps, and he dumps regularly, and he ended up going for a solo jack, back-to-back homers to give us a early 3-0 lead. Let's go, Leody. First pitch to Leody Taveras. He goes for a bunt. I love it. I've been complaining that we haven't been able to see enough bunts out there, but he bunts it foul. But I like the attempt. I hope that we go for a couple bunts a game. And we have, quite a few guys that can execute that play. 0-1 pitch after that bunted foul attempt. Ended up going, not in play. 0-1 pitch, high and inside. Almost hits him in the elbow. Up high towards the head. 1 ball and 1 strike there to Leody Taveras. Appreciate you, STL. Every dollar counts, and it also helps, when you can get your dono train started early in the stream rather than later. 1-1 pitch. Tries to jam the hitter high and inside. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Parker. 2 balls and 1 strike to Leody Taveras. Appreciate that, man. Obviously we're not going to, go all the way, but just cool that they had got in. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. We're at 5:95 to go to hit the dono goal. 2-1 pitch in play, and Leody Taveras flies out to left, 1 away. Down goes Leody. Hey, we can get you next time around. And I like the bunt attempt. We don't get too many of those. Next up, one of my favorite players on the team, fresh off AAA, a few months ago, the Tacoma Rainiers, our third baseman, probably for the next 5 to 10 years, Ben Williamson. And the best guy that we've had at third since we let Eugenio Suarez go, which was a huge mistake, but, it is what it is. So, STL, you watch a lot of college baseball, probably more than anybody on the channel overall. Who would you say is the front runner to win the College World Series this year? Do you got any teams in line that you like besides your own? Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 Mariners, back-to-back homers by Julio, 2-run jack, solo dinger by Cal Raleigh, big dumper, 3-0 Mariners. And I love it. Cal's trying to catch up to Aaron Judge and company. And again, it'll be interesting, once we, have everyone at 20 homers, that's in the top 5, and then it'll be a race to see who can get to 30 first. But, we haven't really had a home run hitter like this in a long time, let alone a catcher. We've never had a catcher be this good, and not only that, having leadership, being a switch hitter, being the best clutch hitter, for the Mariners. I absolutely love it. 1-2 count to Ben Williamson. Let's go, Big Ben. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes with that curveball high and inside from Parker to Big Ben Williamson. Let's go. Jay Johnson, I got you, dude. Absolutely, man. I got you. 1-2 pitch. And Williamson fouls that one off again, right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out from Ben Williamson. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Should have been strike 3, but called ball. Man, this ump is terrible. He's calling balls, strikes, balls. And, you know, I just want him to call it right down the middle for both teams, but maybe he'll just be equally bad for both. 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Mitchell Parker on the mound. And Big Ben Williamson, B-dubs in the box. Let's go, Ben. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 2nd inning, early 3-0 lead. 2-2 pitch in play. And Williamson singles to right. I love it, man. And again, I love guys that will work, you know, their at-bats. And Julio was one of those guys that would be out in the first 3 pitches. Not anymore. And Big Ben Williamson grinding out that at-bat and getting a nice single to right. Great job, Big Ben. Next up, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. 1 for 1 with a run with a little slapper to left in the top of the first to get us going. Let's see if he can do it again. And if anyone is overdue for a homer on the Mariners, it's probably J.P. First pitch of J.P. Crawford takes a strike looking low and in the zone, 0-1 count. Let's go, J.P. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away with a 4-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour to J.P. Crawford behind in the count from Mitchell Parker, 0-2 count. Let's go, J.P. Arkansas. When's the last time Arkansas won the College World Series? Have they ever won it? 0-2 pitch, low and away, about 5 feet off the plate, maybe 10 with that slider. 83 miles an hour there by Parker. That pitch got away from him. JP's only got 4 homers for the whole year. So again, 284 average, 19 ribbies, but he's due for home run number 5. And hopefully he gets it here today. And if he doesn't get it today, hopefully this series. Pitches low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Parker to Crawford. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, low and away with a slider this time around, 83 miles an hour. Count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first, bottom of the 2nd, 3-0 Mariners. I appreciate the insight, man, you know, especially if it's something I'm not too familiar with. I love to be able to learn from you guys, especially if it's something that, you know, I don't follow on an everyday basis. And anything else that you want to be able to, you know, go over as the days go on in that tourney, you know, feel free. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to J.P. Crawford. Count is full. And I'll get you some Jay Johnson here in a moment. Let's go, J.P. And J.P. Crawford getting the walk. I love it. On that full count. Good eye by J.P. Crawford. Next up is center fielder Julio Rodriguez. 1 for 1 with a run. 2 RBIs. Can he go for another 2-run blast here in the 3rd inning? No. 2nd inning. Let's go. Let's bring that electricity, baby. Let's go, J-Rod. I got plenty of photos for you. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. I got one Jay Johnson here in the bucket for you already. And it looks like they're going to have a mound visit. Maybe his day is done. Or they're going to at least talk to him and see if he can, you know, kind of calm down. But I don't know if there's any calming down the Mariner hitters right now. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez with a four-seam fastball. Low and at the knees. 92 miles an hour, 1-0 count. But I got a couple Jay Johnsons for you, my guy. Appreciate you. Nice little shot there at the game. And I'll try to get you one or two more once we go into commercial break. Appreciate you. The SEC is like, they run it, huh? Like, like I said, it's pretty rare for a team outside of, that particular, conference to be able to have those deep runs, but we'll see. 1-0 pitch, and Julio lines out to third, 2 away. No back-to-back two-run jacks for Julio, but that's all right. But we got another guy that's got a chance for 2 home runs in 2 innings. His name is Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside, tries to jam the hitter with that curveball, 0-1 count. Bottom of the second inning, Parker on the mound, Big Dumper in the box, Cal Raleigh, runners at first and second with 2 outs with a early 3-0 lead. Let's go. Let's go, Cal. We're happy with singles and doubles like this photo, but we love when you go yard. Let's go, baby. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking right down the middle. Behind in the count now 0-2 to Cal Raleigh. Love the trident, man. 0-2 pitch, fouls off. Low and away with that curveball. Still behind in the count 0-2. In the bottom of the second with a 3-0 Seattle lead. And impressive, too, because Cal's hitting home runs from the left side and the right side. And, he's not that much, I think the left side obviously is the natural side. But that right side, usually when you're a switch hitter, there's a pretty big drop-off. Not so much for Cal. He got that home run power, from either side. But obviously home runs from the left look a little bit cooler than they do on the right side. But, we'll take homers on any side that we can get with Big Dumper. 0-2 pitch, fouled off with the curve, low and away. Count remains here 0-2. Pitch. And down goes Cal Raleigh. End of the second inning, 3-0 Mariners. Let's go to the top of the third and see who's up next for the Nats. Next up for the Nats in the 7-hole, center fielder Robert Hassel III. On deck, batting second, third baseman Jose Tena. And batting third, right fielder Dalen Lyle. Tena, Lyle, and Hassel. All right, let me see if I can find you another Jay Johnson or two. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my guy. End of the second inning, 3-0 Mariners. First pitch from Logan Evans to Robert Hassel III. Fouls it off. High and away with a cutter, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with a curveball. Should have been called strike, but called ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Evans to Hassel. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. STL, what are we at on the likes right now? And then we're at 595 to go on the dono train. Hassel grounds out to Big Ben Williamson. Throw to first. 1 away. Good defense there by the Mariners. Nice job, Big Ben. Down goes Robert Hassel, the third. Next up, third baseman in the 8-hole, Jose Tena. Yeah, I saw that Ohtani homered on the first pitch of the game, which I wasn't surprised. You know, he did that in the previous game in the, so, Ohtani is one of those guys. Tena grounds out to first, 2 away. Next up, right fielder, Dalen Lyle. First pitch, Dalen Lyle, high and inside with a cutter, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone with a cutter, 1 ball and 1 strike from Evans to Lyle. Captain with a 5er. What's good, brother? STL holding down the likes in the dono train until you got into the building. Appreciate you. And Lyle grounds out to first. Easy, bang, bang, bang. 1, 2, 3 inning there by the Seattle Mariners. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, with a little bit of Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do photo-wise, and I got you. Appreciate you, my guy. We're at 10, 90 to go. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning, see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second in the 5-hole, DHing Mitch Garver. And batting third, 1 for 1, second baseman Dylan Moore. I mean, I can't wait till we bring up Cole Young, Harry Ford, and Tyler Locklear. I mean, if we could replace Donovan Solano, Mitch Garver, and Miles Mastrobuoni with those 3 guys, we'd be so much better. But, we got to be patient and wait for that time to come. All right, got you, man. And if you're just tuning in to the matchup, Logan Evans got punch-outs on the first 2 guys, CJ Abrams and James Wood, the phenom. So obviously that's the guy to look out for on this team, James Wood. He's a stud. But again, Logan Evans was wheeling and dealing early, which was great. We love to be able to see, our back-end pitchers, essentially AAA guys, him and Emerson Hancock, do well. And then obviously J.P. Crawford ended up getting a bloop single to left. But right after that, Julio just slammed one, 394 feet, left center, 2-0 Mariners. And then right after him, back-to-back, Solo Jack batting from the right side with that torpedo bat, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He goes yard to left and ended up being 3-0 Mariners in the first inning. I don't know if you could have asked for a better start, baby. And we might end up getting 2 homers by Julio or Cal before it's all said and done. Nice job, J-Rod. Appreciate you. First pitch from Mitchell Parker to Randy Arozarena. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off in the zone. Low and away, behind in the count now 0-2. Oh-2 pitch, low and outside with that curveball, 81 miles an hour for Mitchell Parker. 4-3 record, ERA of 4.39, so nothing to be afraid of there. And again, after only winning 1 game out of 4, against the Astros, this is exactly what we needed. We need a fucking sweep. We got 9 straight home games, here at T-Mobile. So we need to go 6-3 or better to make up the losses that we had on Houston. And that's big facts. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off by Randy Arozarena, low and away. 1-2 count to big old Randy. Let's go, Randy. I want to see some hustle in left field as well. 1-2 pitch, low and away with that splitter by Parker. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-0 Mariners. I would love to see JP homer this series. With only 4 home runs, he's been stuck at that number. I would love for him to get to number 5. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Tries to jam the hitter there. Yeah, I mean, again, you already know it's going to be tough when we play the Yankees and the Astros or the Dodgers or any typical top-tier team or that has had success in the last few years. Astros may not be as good as they were in previous years, but they still can beat us, obviously, as they showed. With no Yordan Alvarez, injured the whole series, as that other pitch by Randy is fouled off. They don't have Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman anymore on the Cubs and Red Sox, so really no excuse for the Mariners to only win 1. We should have at least split, but sometimes that just ends up happening when you end up going against your number 1 rival. We did win 2 out of 3 at the beginning of the year in Seattle. So, again, I think at the end of the year, it will all even out. Curveball fouled off again there by Randy Arozarena. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-0 Seattle. Yeah, that's always good. Absolutely. Anytime that Stros get a loss, we'll love that. And I told you OKC is going to win the series. I would assume the T-Wolves will win 1 or 2. It's not going to go 7 games. It's either going to be over in 5 or 6. T-Wolves are good enough to win 2, though, in the series. And then obviously with the Pacers and Knicks, it looks like, even though the Knicks had that huge comeback and the Pacers got out to a 2-0 lead, neither one of those teams has a chance against the Thunder. And down goes Randy Arozarena, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, DHing Mitch Garver. Just imagine if this was like Harry Ford or Cole Young or Tyler Locklear. We could get more results. First pitch from Parker to Garver. Takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Tries to jam him at the knees. And the strike zone for this ump, we were complaining that the umps were bad in the Astro series. The ump in this game is by far worse than any ump in the Astro series, games 1 through 4. I mean, he's calling balls, strikes, balls. But again, as long as he's, being a shitty ump on both teams, then there's no complaining. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Mitch Garver. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Let's go, Mitch. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Mitch Garver. Can we get Harry Ford, please? We need a call-up. And he's a catcher, too, Harry Ford. Next up, second baseman, 1 for 1, Dylan Moore. And that's always great to see, Dylan starting off, on a good foot. Obviously, there's been a few games where he's gone 0 for 4, 0 for 5 in the last month. And it gets frustrating, because you have to decide who do you want to play, him, Mastroboni, or Leo Rivas. And, again, if you're going to be going 0 for 4, 0 for 5, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult to be saying, hey, it should be Demo. But at least he ended up getting off to a fast start. Let's go, Demo. Big swing and a miss behind in the count, 0-1 from Dylan Moore. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike to Demo. One pitch, takes a strike looking there in the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan Moore. Paisley's been a little under the weather for the last 2 to 3 days. So once we get out number 3, I may have to go take her outside just to see if she has to use the restroom. Want to make sure we don't have any accidents in the house. So bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-0 Seattle. Parker on the mound, Demo in the box. And down goes Demo. He strikes out swinging. All right, I'm going to go take Pup out for just a quick visit, just to make sure that she doesn't get sick in here. And I'll be right back in just a couple minutes. End of the 3rd inning, 3-0 Mariners. All right, I'm back. Looks like I only missed one out there. Down goes CJ Abrams. Next up, left fielder James Wood. First pitch high and inside with a four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. But at least, she had to go, so I'm glad that I didn't wait. In play, back, see ya! And this was what I was worried about. James Wood, the up-and-coming superstar for the Washington Nationals, solo jacked 448 feet, 3-1 Mariners. Nice job, James. And obviously, he'll be on all the thumbs, for the Seattle series. I mean, as long as it's a solo jack and that's it, and we still win, and I get to see him play well, then it's a win-win-win. Next up, first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. Top of the fourth inning, 3-1 Mariners. Five more likes to 30. Let's go. And I apologize, I had to step away. But my pup has been a little sick. Has had some stomach issues and whatnot. So try to make sure whenever she gives me the look, that I make sure that I act quickly so there's no accidents in the house. First pitch to Nathaniel Lowe, and he singles to left. Logan Evans getting a little bit roughed up here. Come on, Logan, settle in. Top of the fourth inning, runner at first with no outs. One out. And Evans on the mound, Nathaniel Lowe with a nice little bloop single there to get to first base. Next up, in the four-hole, catcher Keibert Ruiz. First pitch, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouls that one off high and away. Behind him the count now 0-2. Evans on the mound, Ruiz in the box. Top of the fourth inning, 3-1 Mariners. Back-to-back homers by Julio and Cal in the first to give us a 3-0 lead. And the superstar James Wood for the Nats ended up going with a solo jack to center to make it 3-1. Pitch is low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Keibert Ruiz. Crazy, the Padres actually drafted him. Could you imagine if he was on the Padres? Holy moly. Automatic ball, a pitch timer violation by Logan Evans. That doesn't happen often. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Keibert Ruiz. But I mean, I don't mind if James Wood goes, for solo dingers every game in the series as long as we win. That way we get a little bit of excitement on the other side as well. Ruiz grounds out into the double play, and I love that, baby. We love it when they get guys at first and we can get that double play. You call for it, you get it. Nice job. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning with a 3-1 Mariner lead. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman 0-for-1, Donovan Solano. Batting second, on deck, right fielder 0-for-1, Leody Taveras. Another guy that would be great to be able to see him leave the park. And batting third, 1-for-1, third baseman Ben Williamson. Let's go Mariners. Nice 4-6-3 double play there. I was like chasing Paisley in the garage. She didn't want to put the harness on because I have to put the harness on her to, and then the retractable leash. So that way she doesn't just run off. And I was thinking to myself, I don't got time to be playing, keep away from each other. Like, you need to come here and I need to see if you actually really need to go, to the bathroom or you're just playing around. And, luckily she doesn't play around too often. When she needs to have something done, usually if you just pay attention and you can communicate, with each other, and then you can figure it out. So, but hopefully she'll be doing better. She's been a little under the weather since Friday, so hopefully she'll be good to go tomorrow, I'm hoping. Go to the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-1 Mariners. For real, though, right? And that's a good thing. I mean, we've also hit into double plays, but it seems like we haven't hit into double plays nearly as often as last year. We're not striking out nearly as often as last year either, but we're getting double plays defensively, a lot more than I think expected. And, hopefully we can get, that to happen 2, 3, 4 times a game. And, if that happens, you're going to have a very good chance to win. All right, baby. 5 more likes to 30. Let's get there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends, and we're at 10, 90 to go. First pitch to Donovan Solano. Takes the strike looking, 0-1 count. And it only took 50-plus games for me to finally get a Donovan Solano photo. Finally. 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one off behind the count, 0-2. But it's just nice to know that our farm system has guys ready pretty soon for Tyler Locklear, to be a Donovan Solano replacement, Harry Ford, a Mitch Garver replacement, and then on top of that, Cole Young, maybe Mastroboni, Demo if he plays second, or Leo Rivas replacement there. So, I know Cole can play short or second, and Harry Ford and Cole Young are looking very, very nice for the Tacoma Rainiers. I follow everything that they do. In play, and Solano getting a single to left. We're living in stranger things in the upside down when Donovan Solano is able to get a single, or 2 in a game, and he's actually been pretty productive the last 3 games. Let's go. Nice job, Donovan. 1 or 2 singles a game would be great. And then maybe you'll even get a walk later in the matchup before they have someone pinch hit for you. Next up, right fielder Leody Taveras. First pitch at the knees to Leody, 1-0 count. And hopefully those 2 homers aren't the only 2 homers that we get. Hopefully we'll get, a third or a fourth later in the game. And Taveras grounds out and did the fielder's choice at third. Solano out at second. 1 away. Next up, 1 for 1. Third baseman, Ben Williamson. First pitch, takes a strike looking low and in the zone. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, fouls that one off right down the middle, behind in the count now 0-2. Mitchell Parker on the mound, Ben Williamson in the box, bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Yeah, and you already know Ohtani and Judge, when they find their rhythm, it's going to be tough to, keep up, but there'll be a couple guys that should be able to make it interesting. Schwarber, obviously for the Phillies, Cal Raleigh, big dumper for the Mariners, and then we'll see if there's anyone else that will be able to hang around Judge and Ohtani for a full season. But, I like the way that Cal has been producing, and, he may not be able to be like the home run king, in 2025. I don't think anyone expects that, but again, normally a guy that hits 50 to 35, he's pacing for 55 homers, based on how he's been hitting lately. And Williamson grounds out into the double play. Kind of funny, we were talking about double plays just a minute ago, and the last thing that you want is to hit into one after we got one defensively, but that's just how it goes in baseball. End of the 4th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Let's see who's up next here for the Nats. Next up for the Nats, 0 for 1 second baseman, Luis Garcia Jr. Okay, baby, I see you. Batting second on deck, DHing Josh Bell. And batting third, 0 for 1 center fielder, Robert Hassel III. All right, let's take a look at the stats of the pitchers up to this point. We do that about halfway through. So Logan Evans, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 Ks, 35 pitches, 27 strikes, ERA at 3.19. He's playing great. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, he gave up a solo jack, but let's be honest. James Wood can hit a homer off almost anybody in the league, and he really is the best player on the team. Hands down. It's not even close. So, for one guy on the team to hurt us, as long as we're not losing the game, it gives you a little bit of excitement when they're, obviously, on that side of, from the mound to the bat. All right, let's see Mitchell Parker. Let's see what he got going on. All right, Mitchell Parker, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 78 pitches, 53 strikes. What a big difference. We're in the same, situation, but one guy has got 35 pitches, Logan Evans. The other guy's got almost 80. Wild. And has given up, big homers as well. So I don't think I've seen that much of a difference, at this, structure of the game. We're in the 5th inning, and one guy's at 80, the other guy's at 35. I don't think we've seen that as far as Mariner fans all year. Great job. Takes the strike, looking high and away. Nice pitch by Logan Evans with that curveball, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away, behind the count 0-2 to Luis Garcia Jr. 0-2 pitch, in play, and lined out to right. Leody Taveras and Julio out there in the outfield, no fly zone, 1 away. Nice job. Down goes Luis Garcia Jr. Next up, 0 for 1, DHing here for the Nats, Josh Bell. And most people remember him on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Been a little bit of a journeyman, and hopefully he won't hurt us here this evening. Top of the 5th inning, 3-1 Seattle. I think that, he won't be as competitive as Schwarber, Cal, Judge, and Ohtani. Because remember, he had that one game where he had 4 in one game. So, not to say that he can't do that again, but I feel that, he might not be on the same pace as the others, even though we know he's a very good hitter and he has that ability. Down goes Bell, 2 away. Next up is center fielder Robert Hassel III. First pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Should have been called ball, but called strike. This ump is terrible. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup there by Logan Evans, 87 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Robert Hassel III. Let's go, Logan. Four more likes to 30. Let's get there. Tenendonos, Captain, you're doing a fantastic job. I really, really do appreciate you stepping up and handling that role when you're here. Because I definitely need someone I can rely on to help. So appreciate you very much. And Hassel III flies out to center. No fly zone. Julio Rodriguez is there. And that's the end of the top of the 5th inning. I mean, essentially, you're the lead mod when you're here. So I don't have a lead mod. Sarah did it for a little bit and Matt tried it for a little bit. But again, I really do appreciate you stepping up. And you do a great job every day. You know exactly what I need to be done, and I appreciate you. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 1 with a run and a walk, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, 2 RBIs, a 2-run smash early in the game, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod, you the man. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, solo dinger by Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. And that is the order. JP, Julio, Cal. That's sexy. Let's go, Mariners. All right, baby. 1 for 1 with a run and a walk. Nice little bloop single. And then Julio had that 2-run jack in that first. And JP was aboard. Let's see if JP can get on base again, or if he can end up hitting his 5th home run of the season, which would be magical. He's been stuck at 4 forever. First pitch, JP Crawford takes a strike, looking low in the zone. 0-1 count. Yeah, definitely looking forward to the Guardian series. And again, it's like we've only missed like a game, or 2 all season, just because of WWE PLEs. That's really the only reason why we wouldn't do a Mariner game, is if it's like WrestleMania or SummerSlam or a big, event like that. But there's nothing else that will, take that spot until we get into football season, of course. And then we'll have to look to see what's going on, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. But I plan on trying to do, 150 out of the 162 games, if not more. And then if we make the playoffs, which we should, I'll be doing that as well. 0-2 pitch and a big swing and a miss. Down goes JP Crawford. Back-to-backs, big swings by JP. And he ends up coming out at 1 away. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. You already got 1 2-run blast. Tried ends up. Can you do it again? Can we get another home run out of Julio? Let's go, baby. It's kind of crappy, though, that, in March and April, Julio was cold, and we had guys like Dylan Moore and Polo and Williamson that were all, extremely hot. Now those guys have cooled off, and then Julio is extremely hot again. Julio? Back. Oh, my gosh. I thought he was going to go yard again, but flies out to center. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Go, Cal. See if we can get you to 20 home runs. So that way you can catch up to Shohei Ohtani. But just to be in the same breath, of Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge is fucking insane. And we already know that those are the 2 best players, in baseball overall, and again, there's going to be other guys that will have magical seasons from time to time, and their names will be sprinkled in with Ohtani and Judge. But as long as Ohtani and Judge are playing and they're not hurt, it's going to be hard to be able to match that type of production. But Cal's doing it this year. It's amazing. First pitch fouled off by Big Dumper. 0-1 count with that splitter. 0-1 pitch, fouled that one off again, right down the middle, behind the count now 0-2 for Big Dumper. Let's go. Let's go, Cal. You the man. And I was already sold on you in 2021, 2022. Again, and I know Reflect was thinking that he wasn't going to re-sign, that, depending on the agent, and, maybe he would try to go for the money. But, you could already tell that he loves the Pacific Northwest. And, even if he was to get, maybe even take a little bit of a discount so that way that they could pay Logan Gilbert or someone else. Obviously Julio got his. In play. Back. See ya! Cal Raleigh does it again. Oh, my goodness. 2 home runs in the same game. Reyna thought it was going to be Julio, but hey, it wasn't him. It was Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. And he says, I'm trying to get to 20 home runs with Shohei Ohtani, and I'm trying to get past Aaron Judge, and he's in my rear view mirror. Let's go. 4-1 Mariners. Way to do. Way to be. Big Dumper, I see you. Let's go. Amazing. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Now we just need Randy and JP and a few others to get going. 2 homers for Cal. And not only that, from the right side. Amazing, man. There's nobody, again, Julio being hot, you need to have the dynamic duo, kind of like a Jordan Pippen kind of situation. But again, Julio is always going to be like a popular player, no doubt. But this team, is Cal Raleigh's team. And again, I don't think this is going to be the last time that we see Cal Raleigh, hitting 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 plus homers. Like if if any, I mean, we hope that Julio can do it at some point as well. But can you imagine at one point in their careers, whether it be 5 years from now, 3 years from now, or whenever that may be, but if we can get both of those guys to hit 40 homers each, or if both of them got to 50, and obviously Julio, we don't know if he can ever do it, but based on Cal Raleigh and that torpedo bat, we might be able to see a couple 40 and maybe even a couple 50 home run seasons. For Julio, we just need him to get to 30 consistently. And once he does 30, then 35. And then 35, then we can go to 40 before we start talking about 50 home runs out of Julio. But all you really need to do is get hot in 1 month. And in a month, if you end up hitting like 15 to 20 homers, that's what's going to get you to 50 or in the high 40s. So nice job. They're going to pull their pitcher now, and we have a nice 4-1 lead. Let's go. Trident's up. Yeah, I'm ready for that series as well. Yeah, Cal's both homers today are from the right side because the pitcher was a lefty. So, when he can hit, homers in a game from his weak side, to me, out of all the switch hitters, in baseball, Cal Raleigh is the best, as far as power hitting. I don't think there's a hitter, in 2025 that's better, at being a switch hitter that can actually hit home runs, almost equally from the left and the right than Cal. I mean, if you guys can think of someone that is on that level of Cal Raleigh that's a switch hitter, Shohei's not a switch hitter. Aaron Judge ain't a switch hitter. So I love what I'm seeing. Now we got Rutledge coming in for Parker. His day is done. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, and he got hit by the pitch. Man, Randy is the new Ty France. I mean, I hope this guy doesn't get hurt. But, man, this guy gets beamed every single game, sometimes multiple times a game. Next up, DHing Mitch Garver. First pitch to Mitch Garver. Takes a strike looking on the line. 0-1 count. Fans are giving the boo birds. And again, you don't want Randy to get hurt. Yeah, sometimes he's a little lazy in left field. Sometimes he doesn't, show like that hustle sometimes, right? But again, I don't want, anybody to get hurt. We already have plenty of injuries on the Seattle Mariners, so. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Mitch Garver, behind in the count now 0-2. Come on, Mitch. Bottom of the 5th inning, runner at first, 4-1 Mariners. This is more like, our speed, instead of, getting 1 to 3 runs and, kind of get pushed around. But, again, if your bullpen is shaky, so be it, right? But again, when you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-run lead before you have to go to the bullpen, then you feel a little bit better. And if they fuck up, you'll still win by a run or two, And again, when the game's close, you can't afford the bullpen to make that crucial mistake, against a team like the Astros or the Yankees. And, it definitely has cost us quite a few games this year. And down goes Mitch Garver. End of the 5th inning, 4-1 Mariner lead. Let's go, baby. We're living that life. It's all about big dumper Cal Raleigh, baby. Just great to have a player, that has great leadership, for all of the pitching staff, and that's a switch hitter, and that can hit homers from the left and the right, and is the most clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond since he came into the league. 11 plus homers. That's even more than Aaron Judge, who's number 2 with 9. So in that same time period. So really, this is our franchise guy, and it's not like we only have one. We got one franchise guy, we got two franchise guys, and then we got Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. So we got literally 4 franchise guys. And then on top of that, we got the best closer in baseball and Andres Munoz. And then you got Brian Wu this year playing like an all-star. Things are looking very bright for the Seattle Mariners, even though we only won 1 game out of 4 against the Stros. We're going to get back on track on this 9-game homestand. Big facts. We're the top of the 6th inning and see who's up next year for the Nats. Next up for the Nationals, 0 for 1 in the 8-hole, third baseman, Jose Tena. I see you, Tena. Batting second, right fielder, Dalen Lyle. And back at the top of the order, shortstop, C.J. Abrams. First pitch to Tena. Takes a strike looking with that sweeper, 0-1 count. Let's go, Logan, wheel and deal. 0-1 pitch, fouled that one off from Logan Evans, behind in the count 0-2. Nice curveball there by Logan. And, again, Logan's good at home. Again, he sometimes will have a little bit of a shaky road, appearance. But again, who doesn't, have a shaky road, outing once in a while? I mean, even our best guys, Wu, Gilbert, and Kirby, sometimes will get fucked up on the road. So, but I like what I'm seeing here out of Logan Evans. And if he can end up getting the dub here today, his record is going to improve to 3-1 with an ERA of 3. We might have to consider him over Bryce Miller, for that last spot. Tena singled to left on an 0-2 pitch on Logan Evans. Nice base knock there by Tena. I see you, Jose. Next up, right fielder Dalen Lyle. We need a little base knock right up the middle to J.P. Crawford, throw to first, and then we can get a nice double play. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mariners. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle to Lyle, 0-1 count. Let's go, Logan. You've been electric so far. And again, you had one pitcher that was almost at 75 to 80 pitches, and Logan was at like 35. But hopefully we can end up getting out of this inning unscathed. And again, like I said, I don't mind if James Wood goes for a homer every game. At least that gives some excitement for the Nat fans. He is the best player on the team, as long as it doesn't make us lose. So that way we have at least something on the opposite side. Of course, it would be great. And the double play. You call and you shall receive. There we go. My ESP is strong, my guy. Let's go. You call for a double play, you get a double play. See ya. Next up, shortstop, 0 for 2 with a K, C.J. Abrams. First pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone, 0-1 count. Let's go. Oh, 0-1 pitch, fouled that one off, low and at the knees with the sweeper by Logan Evans, 83 miles an hour, behind the count now 0-2. It's awesome to be able to see him playing like this, and I think that a lot of Mariner fans, assumed at this point, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, that Julio would be the guy. He was going to be the franchise guy. He was going to be the best player. He was going to be the guy that would be, 30-30, 40-40, type of guy. But again, Cal was always special. And again, I feel like some of the fans, took him for granted a little bit. And you have to go back to that 2022 season. Julio was a rookie, and that was first year for Cal, starting as well with George Kirby. But again, Julio got all the love that year. But if you actually go back and look to see who actually was the most clutch, it was Cal Raleigh, and he has been the most clutch hitter every year for the Mariners from his rookie season till now. And then he's about to have potentially a 50-plus home run season, which is crazy. I never would have thought I would see 50 home runs, unless we're talking about guys like Ken Griffey Jr. And this is crazy. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes from Evans to Abrams. Yeah, I like it as well. Again, so we got this game here, and then we got George Kirby tomorrow, and then we got Emerson Hancock in the last, matchup. It's all going to be evening games, which is a benefit to us. And then we go into the Twins, and then we got Brian Wu. So I like it as well. You want to make sure you got one of your best guys going against one of the better teams. Twins are much better than the Nats. There we go. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning as we get the Nats out there. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a K, second baseman Dylan Moore. Batting second, 1 for 2. First baseman Donovan Solano. Hell, even Donovan Solano is hitting. That's when you know things are going, everything Seattle. You know, when he's been able to get a hit or two in the last 3 games, even forcing a walk or two here and there. Let's go, Donovan. You're still the worst player on the team, and we should replace you, with Tyler Locklear. And obviously, we should replace Mitch Garver for Harry Ford, and should probably consider, moving Dylan Moore to a different position and then getting Cole Young there. But, we'll wait and see. But we got Demo on deck, Donovan Solano, 1 for 2. And then looking for his first hit of the game, 0 for 2, right fielder Leody Taveras. Let's go, Mariners. Yeah, I mean, it was just a rough start, and also look at who we played, So anytime when you end up playing a good, solid team like that, it's... imagine if we would have played, if Kirby's first start was against the Nationals, like if his first start was tomorrow, chances are he's not going to get roughed up the way that he did, but when you go against a good hitting team, regardless of their record, sometimes you're going to get fucked up. And, George got fucked up, and hopefully he'll be better at this, second start. And I believe he will be. Not many threats here on the Nationals, honestly, besides James Wood. So if you get James Wood out, other than that, or if he does damage and he's the only one, you're going to be just fine. But that's really the only guy you got to worry about. This guy right here, James Wood. Other than that, nobody else. Rutledge on the mound. First pitch, takes a strike looking to Demo. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away to Dylan Moore, behind in the count 0-2. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Looks like we hit 30. We're 20 likes away from the goal, trying to hit 50, and we're at 10. 90 to go on the Dono train. 0-2 pitch, high and away with a 4-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. You've cooled off considerably, just like with Jorge Polanco and Ben Williamson, but again, it's not like these guys can't heat up again. Let's go, Demo. Rutledge on the mound, Dylan Moore in the box. Seattle Mariners with a 4-1 lead. And you know who loves that more than anyone? This guy right here. 2-1 record, ERA of 3.33. Whenever you get a guy that's a AAA pitcher like him and Hancock, and they can get run support, that's a pitcher's dream. Let's go. 1-2 pitch in play for Dylan Moore. Go, Dylan, go, 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 go. And Dylan Moore is safe at second with a double. Hell yeah. Next up, 1 for 2, Donovan Solano. First pitch, high and away with a sinker, 95 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Let's go, Donovan. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Julio is always going to be probably the most popular, regardless with Mariner fans or non-Mariner fans. But again, we wouldn't be the same team, without Cal. We need both. It's like a Jordan Pippen situation. You need both, and you need both to play well together for us to be able to hit our potential. And right now, both are raking, and I love it. 2-0 pitch, low and away, 3-0 count from Rutledge to Solano. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Donovan Solano. Look at that. Like the last guy that would actually deserve a 4-pitch walk. And again, if pitching is shaky, which it is for the Nats, this is the type of shit that you get, and we love it. Next up, right fielder Leody Taveras. 0 for 2 with runners at first and second and no outs. And remember, when you end up having a situation when you got runners at first and second and no outs, that could be definitely devastating. I hear you, Paisley. I hear you. Are you okay? Are you all right? Daddy has to work. I'm almost done. Bottom of the 6th inning, runner is at first and second with no outs. I may have to go take Paisley out again. Like I said, last couple nights, it's like waking me up every 2 hours, and it's like I have to take her wines for the benefit of the doubt, so that way there's no accidents in the house and whatnot. But she definitely has had some stomach issues and whatnot since Friday, so. Makes a strike looking. 0-1 count to Leody Taveras. Yeah, Solano's actually had a couple good games. You know, even in the Astros series, he had one game where he had 2 hits and a walk. Then he had another game where he had a hit. You know, and normally you don't expect him to get anything. Go 0 for 4, 0 for 5 if he plays the whole game. But typically maybe 3 at-bats and then someone else pitch hits for him. Are you okay? Potty? No. Lay down. If you don't have to go potty, just lay down. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Leody Taveras behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Leody. Bottom of the 6th inning, runners at first and second with no outs. Rutledge on the mound. Taveras in the box. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees with a splitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leody Taveras. Come on, Leody. Let's go, baby. Go M's. And wild pitch. Solano goes to second. Moore to third. Let's go. Everything is just looking great here today. And again, you know, after what happened with us and not even being able to split with Houston, this is exactly what we needed to get our confidence and swagger back. Yes, we know the Nationals are not a good team, but again, you know, we've seen the Mariners play teams like this and lose. So again, we need to be able to kind of get back on track. We got a 9-game homestand, so we need to go 6-3 or better to make up the ground that we lost against the Stros, only winning 1 out of 4. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leody Taveras. Go M's. Pitch fouled off again by Leody. 6 pitches in. And at some point here, I may have to go take her outside again. I don't know if she's just whining because she wants food or my attention, or if she's about to have an accident in the house or not. Hard to say. I've already taken her out once, so. Bottom of the 6th, runners at second and third. In play. And Taveras flies out to third. 1 away. Next up, third baseman, Ben Williamson. Do you need to go potty or not? Do you need to go or not? You have to go potty, yes or no? See if I can finish the inning here. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mariners. Rutledge on the mound, Ben Williamson in the box. First pitch to Ben Williamson, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and inside with the sinker, 96 miles an hour. Thereby Rutledge behind in the count now 0-2 to big Ben Williamson. 6 more likes to 40. Let's get it, baby. We're trying to get to 50. The thing is that, you know, if she's whining and whining and whining and I go out there and she doesn't do anything and she's just screwing around, you know, it's like I gotta work, you know. She knows that this is my time where I have to work. I spend, you know, every single minute of the day with her, you know, literally 21 or 22 hours, you know, and even the days that I'm working, she's usually in here, so. In play, and Williamson with a nice RBI there. Solano to third. Demo scores. 5-1 Mariners. There we go. Nice job, Ben. Fielder's choice. Williamson grounds out to the fielder's choice to third. Moore scores. Next up is J.P. Crawford. Nice diving attempt by Dylan Moore. Head first slide, safe. First pitch to J.P. Crawford. Inside, tries to jam the hitter, 1-0 count. Bottom of the sixth inning, runners on the corners at first and third, 5-1 Mariners. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away, tries to paint that corner. Nice pitch by Rutledge there. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Come on, JP. Only 4 home runs for the season. Would love for him to get number 5. He gets a home run here to make it 8-5, or excuse me, 8-1 would be awesome. It'd be very unexpected, but he's due. He's well overdue. Bottom of the sixth inning, runners on the corners at first and third with 1 out. J.P. Crawford in the box. And 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone, right on the line. Inside, tries to jam the hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. J.P., there we go, baby. In play. Grounds out to the shortstop, but Solano scores. 6-1 Mariners. Hell yeah. There we go. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs. Cal Raleigh's got 2 home runs in the game. What about you, Julio? Are you going to do it as well? Let's go. Another 2-run blast from Julio would be amazing. Not that we really need it in this game, but, again, just to be able to kind of flex, that, hey, we're back. We got 9 straight games at home, and we need to make sure that we're winning at least 6 out of the 9. Preferably 7 out of 9 would be great, but we'll wait and see. In play, and Julio gets another RBI single. Williamson scores. 7-1 Mariners. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Nice job, Julio. Can Cal Raleigh get 3 homers in a game? If anyone could do it, it's him. First pitch, takes a strike swinging. 0-1 count. And Cal's batting from the left side, his strong side now. So we'll see if he can end up getting another homer here, which would be a 2-run blast if he's able to do it. 2 homers for Cal Raleigh so far. Can he make it 3 for 3? Let's go, Cal. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. High and away. Behind in the count now 0-2. Nice 7-1 Mariner lead. We love that, baby. And I'm going to go take Paisley out again here after this inning ends and see if she has to do a number 1 or number 2, or if she's just whining just to whine. 0-2 pitch, high and inside with a 4-seam fastball by Rutledge. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. 7-1 Mariners. Let's go. I mean, this is the type of production that we expect. Nice for us to be able, I get it. We know the Nats are not the same level as like the Astros or some of the other teams that we struggled with. But hell, at this point, when you end up getting beat up in the last series, you like to be able to come out strong and to be able to flex a little bit. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Hold on, Paisley, I'm almost done. Two-two pitch, low and at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full. 7-1 Mariners. You have to go potty again? Are you hungry or do you have to go potty? What do you need? Are you hungry or do you need to go potty? Wild pitch. Julio gets to second base there off the wild pitch. And down goes Cal Raleigh, striking out, swinging. All right, let me go take my pup outside, make sure that this is not going to be any type of accident in the house. All All right, end of the 6th inning, 7-1 Mariners. I'll be back in roughly a minute or two. Give me a sec. All right, Paisley, let's go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm back. Let's go to the top of the 7th inning. Logan Evans on the mound. Nathaniel Lowe in the box. Nice to see James Wood not get anything there at this at-bat. There we go. Logan Evans with another punch-out. We like that. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nathaniel Lowe. Let's go, Logan. Top of the 7th, 7-1 Mariners. Yeah, I hope the sickness passes for my pup. You know, I hate to see her, you know, dehydrated or just, you know, having these stomach issues and whatnot. You know, it's just like a human, you know, when you end up having bubble guts or, you know, your stomach is not settled, you know, it's, you know, one of those things where you're having to go pretty often and it's, you know, can't go in the house. So, pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Evans to Lowe. We're almost there. 5 more likes to 40, 15 to the goal to get to 50. Let's get there, baby. Nathaniel Lowe in the box. Logan Evans still wheeling and dealing. Top of the 7th inning, 7-1 Mariners. Let's go, Logan. Pitch is high and away. Count now a full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nathaniel Lowe. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off with that cutter by Evans. Count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 1 out. 7-1 Mariners. Let's go, Logan. Keep wheeling, baby. Keep wheeling and dealing. And Lowe flies out to center. 2 away. Next up for the Nats, catcher Keibert Ruiz.
Oh my gosh.
First pitch to Keibert Ruiz. High and away with the curve. 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Evans to Ruiz. Top of the 7th, 7-1 Mariner lead. We love it. Evans on the mound, Ruiz in the box. And down goes Ruiz. There we go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning with a 6-run lead. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, DHing Mitch Garver. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run and a K, second baseman Dylan Moore. Let's go Mariners. All right, baby, let's go. We need 1 more like to get to 40, 11 more to hit the goal before the stream ends. We're trying to get to 50 before the game ends. We're at 39, 11 more to go. Let's go, baby. You haven't smashed that like button yet? Please do. Help your boy out. It helps out with the metrics and the algorithm and just the overall stats to the channel. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-1 Seattle. And the story of the day is big dumper Cal Raleigh with 2 homers in the same game. Let's go, Cal. Julio Rodriguez with a 2-run jack in the first as well. The home run party, baby. Brother BKL, happy birthday for tomorrow, my guy. First pitch, low and away to Randy Arozarena with the changeup, 1-0 count. Go, Randy. You've cooled off considerably as well. We've had quite a few guys cool off to a certain degree. Polo, Randy, Demo, Williamson. Julio has gotten hot. Cal has been able to stay consistent, but who else is going to heat up again? 2-0 pitch, fouled off by Randy Arozarena. 2 balls and 1 strike with no outs with a 7-1 Mariner lead. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And we'll be live for all of these games against the Nats, and then, no time off. And it goes right into the next series. And, we're only having about, 2 days off in a month. We're grinding. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is low and away with that curveball, 81 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. And that is a 5-pitch walk. Let's go, baby. We might not be able to have him go yard, try to hit up, but we'll take a walk. Nice job, Randy. Good eye. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K. See if we can end up getting at least 1 hit before the game ends for Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. First pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. Yeah, I mean, if you've noticed, the only time that he plays bad or has like a shaky start is on the road. At home, he's been great. Every time he's been at home, he's been awesome. And it also helps when you get run support too at home. So, every road, pitcher is gonna, even our great ones with like Logan Gilbert and George Kirby, Brian Wu, even those guys are going to struggle from time to time, but nice to see him bounce back and should be able to improve his win record to 3-1 with an ERA in the 3s. Again, Bryce Miller's job is in jeopardy, for that 5-hole spot. Normally it's Bryce no matter what, but if Bryce is injured with a back and an elbow, why would we want to have him play when you got a guy like Logan Evans, who at the moment is better, So obviously Emerson Hancock is the guy that is the odd man out, but it should be probably between Bryce or Logan for that last pitcher, unless they go with a 6-man rotation. They had an article on MLB.com talking about they could go that route with Logan Evans, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, Logan Evans, and Bryce Miller, depending on the recovery for Bryce and George Kirby and Logan Gilbert when he comes back. But we'll wait and find out. And if they do that, it's not going to be for a long period of time. They like to go with the 5-man rotation. But it's cool to have 6 guys that are worthy, 3-1 pitch in play, and Garver flies out to center, 1 away. Now, Mitch Garver should be replaced by Harry Ford from the Tacoma Rainiers, no doubt. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run and a K, second baseman Dylan Moore. And between Dylan Moore, Miles Mastroboni, and Leo Ribas, I mean, you got guys that can play that position. But again, I want to see Tyler Locklear replace Solano as the backup first baseman to Rowdy Tellez. Tyler Locklear had some time with us, obviously, last season. It's kind of like a baby Ty France. And then Harry Ford and Cole Young, farm guys on the Tacoma Rainiers, they're raking right now. They're good at offense and defense. Harry Ford's a catcher. Cole Young can play second or short. And those are kind of spots that we need to improve, to be able to have a nice solid backup to, Cal and a backup to Rowdy and, maybe someone else that we could have there at second or short. In playing, and Demo with a ground rule double. Let's go. Demo having himself a good game here. And again, having a couple 0 for 4, 0 for 5 games in the last month, including one against the Stros, this is a nice thing to see. Nice job, Demo. Ground rule double. Hitting it out of play, baby. Next up, first baseman Donovan Solano. 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. And in the last few games, he's been able to get at least a hit. Some games he's been able to get 2. And there's been games where he'll get like a hit or 2 and a walk. So I like what I'm seeing out of Donovan. Still is the worst player on the team, and we should replace him. But again, it's kind of a political type of situation, I feel, with the organization, based off the salary, since he was the big free agent. But I don't think any Mariner fan would be mad if Solano and Mastroboni weren't on the team and we had farm guys instead. I think most guys would agree with that. 0-1 pitch, fouls that one off high and inside, behind in the count now 0-2. Literally took the Mariner photographers, 52 games for me to be able to get a photo without any writing on it from someone else. Nice to finally get a Solano photo. 43 likes, 7 more to hit the goal. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 7th, runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, 7-1 Mariner lead, baby. My pup is sick, but I'm taking care of her. And Solano strikes out swinging on 3 pitches. That's not surprising, you know, and again, he's already got a hit for us, so not mad at him at all. Next up, 0 for 3. Can't go 0 for 4. Come on, Leote. Right fielder, Leote Taveras. Let's go, baby. You can get a little RBI single here. Go 1 for 4, make it 8-1. Or if you really want to, you know, go electric, go for a 3-run blast. I mean, you have hit 2 homers in a Mariner uniform within the last week. So 1 with the White Sox, 1 with the Stros. Could you do it here and make it 10-1 Mariners? First pitch takes a big swing and a miss, high and away. 0-1 count. Yeah, but we also had some tough series, though. You know, it also depends on who you play. You know, winning 9 consecutive series in a row was awesome. You know, but again, if you actually look at our schedule, and you know, teams are going to get better as the warmer weather comes in summertime. You know, and again, some months are going to be great, others we're going to struggle. You know, but hopefully, you know, it's really up to the players to be better. And we had a lot of our players cool off. You know, JP, Polo, right? Ben Williamson, Demo. Really, the only player that made a big difference from March and April to May was Julio. You know, Cal's been pretty consistent all the way through, you know, but having 3 or 4 guys get worse and only 1 guy get better, that's how you end up losing more games, you know, rather than going on that nice win streak. But we still have faith that guys can get better. All right, end of the 7th inning, down goes Leote. Wasn't able to get his first hit in his 4 at-bats, but hopefully he'll be better tomorrow. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning and see who's up next here for the Nationals. Next up for the Nats, in the top of the 8th inning, 0 for 2, second baseman Luis Garcia Jr. Batting second on deck, 0 for 2, DHing Josh Bell. And batting third, 0 for 2, center fielder Robert Hassel III. You know, when the game is bad for, you know, either the Nats or, you know, any team in general, when you get to the 8th inning and most guys only have 2 at-bats, then you know that the game has not gone your way, you know. Because normally at this point, you're at 3 at-bats, 4 at-bats. You've, you know, gone through the order. Some guys have gotten home runs or some hits. But it's like if you are, you know, sitting at a point where the team's got 3 hits, and Mariner fans, we've been there. We've been this team, you know, where we are like looking up at the scoreboard and like, one run, 3 hits. You know, thankfully that's not us anymore, but, you know, I can totally understand and feel what Nat fans are going through. But again, they're, you know, not really in a position, you know, as the Mariners are, where we're going to more than likely win the AL West. The Nats, they're 24 and 29. So it could be worse. You know, obviously 5 games below 500, but you know, as long as James Wood keeps progressing, you know, we'll see what happens with that team moving forward. Top of the 8th inning, 7-1 Mariners. Logan Evans, let's look at the Logan Evans numbers here. Logan Evans, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 Ks, 69 pitches in 7 innings. Incredible. 52 strikes, and the best part, he just lowered his ERA under 3. What the hell? 2.91. Nice job. Bryce Miller, your job is in jeopardy, my guy. I mean, if Logan can keep, you know, pitching like this, we're going to have 2 Logans, you know, in our rotation, and 1 Bryce, you know, hoping that you know, he gets healthy. But I mean, at this point, Logan is a better pitcher than Bryce Miller. So, and we know Bryce has been good for us, you know, over the years, but this year with the, you know, obviously the back and then the elbow, and as well as his mentals, it's been rough. First pitch, and Garcia Jr. Go. Nice double there by Luis Garcia Jr. I'll give you some love. Nice play there. You guys are getting whooped right now, but at least Luis is still trying. Nice double by Luis Garcia Jr. You get 2 photos for that. I see you. Next up, DHing for the Nats, Josh Bell. First pitch to Josh, high and away, about 5 feet off the plate, 1-0 count from Logan Evans. Crazy, they got Logan Evans out here in the fucking 8th inning, and it's a AAA pitcher. And we got a 6-run lead on top of that. Let's go. This is going to be one of those career games that Logan will never forget. And we need to have all the guys with the swagger and confidence. He got Castillo, Wu, Gilbert, Kirby, and maybe Evans is the guy. Even though Miller has, been one of the guys over the last few years. So you got to go with the who's ever the best guy. Just can't have Bryce Miller be the 5 because he's Bryce Miller based on what he did in previous years. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking there in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Bell. 2-1 pitch, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and no out. 7-1 Mariner lead. Finally, they got someone in the pen working out there. Pitch is low and at the knees to Josh Bell from Logan Evans. I mean, when's the last time we actually had a pitcher go 8 innings? I don't think we've had anybody go 8 innings all year. This is the first time. I think we've had guys go 6, 7, right? But trying to remember, have we had anybody go 8 innings this year? Not to my recent memory. I mean, obviously we've had 52 games. This is 53, so. And that's a walk. Now you got to pull him. Okay, we're in the top of the 8th. Runners at first and second with no outs. I think this would be a good time to pull him, before he starts giving up some cheap ass RBI or home run. But, I guess they have to wait for the pitcher in the pen to warm up before they can bring someone in. But this would be the time to pull a guy. You pull a guy in the 5th, in the 4th, the 6th, it doesn't matter. If you get 2 guys on, first and second or second and third and no outs, you run a real risk of something bad happening, sooner than later. But we'll see here. Maybe he'll get out of this jam. Maybe we can get a double play. You can still get double plays with guys at first and second. It's just a little bit more difficult. Top of the 8th inning, 7-1 Mariners. We need a double play. We can get it here. Well, there's 0% chance the Nats are going to win this game. They're not coming back. Now, if they had 3 or 4 James Woods, yeah, maybe they could. If they all were up in this inning, but they only have 1. So, pitch fouled off by Hassel III. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away with a curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Logan Evans to Hassel III. And there's just something about Logan Evans, I don't know if it's the goggles, but he's got some kind of, aura about him. And it's the same thing I felt about Miller and Wu when we first brought him up years ago. There was something special about him, even though that he's really raw and young. And again, I wish the best for Bryce Miller, and I hope that he ends up getting healthy with the back and the elbow and his mentals. But right now, there's no way that I'm going to be, sending the Logan Evans to AAA or having Miller pitch, for him. Because if you're going to have Bryce Miller pitch, he's not going to be good, at least at this point, until he becomes healthy. And even if he's healthy, I think I would rather have Logan Evans right now. Not that I don't like Bryce Miller, I do, but again, Castillo has been better. Wu has been our best pitcher. And obviously Kirby and Gilbert have been injured. And Hassel III strikes out swinging. There we go, baby. 1 away. Down goes Robert. Next up, third baseman Jose Tena. All right, we need a double play here. First pitch from Evans to Tena, fouled off, low and away with a 4-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Logan Evans still wheeling and dealing out there. I love it, man. What great experience for him. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking, painting that corner. And again, when you get guys that throw for high-end velocity and they're wild, like Miller, Evans, Castillo, even Munoz as our, closer, it can go 2 different ways. Either lights out or the ball is all over the place. And if you notice when those guys try to throw through the hitters, because they're power pitchers, George Kirby is a location guy. Logan Gilbert can kind of do everything well. but there's not really one thing that he really excels at. He's just really good at everything, right? So again, you have different styles, between guys that are location, pitchers like George Kirby, and guys that try to throw the top off, like a Logan Evans, a Luis Castillo, a Bryce Miller, a Brian Wu. And when they're on, they're on. But when they're off, they're really fucking off. And right now, hopefully that Logan continue to stay on. And Tina flied out to right, baby. 2 away. We're getting some good defensive help for our guy here, Logan Evans. Love the goggles. All right, 1 more out, and I think we're going to get it here. Next up here in the top of the 8th, runners at first and second, right fielder Dalen Lyle. Let's get a little pop-up here and end this inning. First pitch. Takes a strike looking, painting the corner. And a lot of pitches from Logan Evans today have not been out of the zone. And if they've been out of the zone, maybe a couple feet, maybe 1 or 2 pitches, 5 feet out, that have been a little wild. But for a majority of the night, everything has been, pretty much in that zone. In play, and there it is. There's the fly out that I told you about. He gets out of the jam with runners at first and second with no outs, and he ends up pitching 8 fucking innings. Unbelievable. Love the goggles, man. There's something special about this kid. And again, it's like I don't want to see Bryce get, depressed, but your job is in jeopardy, bro. And again, Luis Castillo has been better than Bryce Miller, and Luis Castillo has actually been better. This version this year is the closest thing that we've seen from Luis La Piedra since we first brought him over from the Reds in 2022. In 2023 and 2024, he wasn't very good. His stats were declining, and again, it's nice to be able to see him kind of have a resurgence, especially with Brian Wu, considering Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller all got hurt. Like, think about this. How many teams, that are quote-unquote playoff teams could survive with 3 out of their 5 starters injured? Let's be real. How many teams could actually survive if 3 of their top 5 were injured, let alone their top 2 in Gilbert and Kirby? Right. And then obviously Miller is probably the 4th or the 5th, regardless if that's Castillo or him, vice versa. Right. Even though we know Brian Wu has been the best pitcher, for us this year in 2025, and it's great to see his development. But, not many teams would be able to have a above 500 record like the Mariners, 29-23, with 3 of their 5 starters injured. So again, it shows you really what kind of depth that we have. And even though we have seen Miller get fucked up, Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans at times look kind of shitty, but for the most part, those guys have stepped up. Really the only guys that have been really bad, like, they're not on the team anymore, like Luis F. Castillo or some of the other guys that went to fill in. Well, let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if we can get a few more runs added on. It's 7-1. Let's see if we can get to 9 or 10. I don't think there's anything bad about that. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run in RBI, Ben Williamson. Batting second, shortstop J.P. Crawford, and batting third, Julio Rodriguez. Let's take a quick look at Logan's final line. All right, Logan Evans, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk from a AAA pitcher. Insane. 4 Ks, 88 pitches, 65 strikes. He's going to be 3-1. His ERA was 3.33. Now it's 2.83. Bryce Miller, you just lost your job, my guy. Let's go, Logan. Insane. Let's go. I mean, he could. Based on his pitch count, he's only at 88. So technically, he could pitch, like 12 pitches and, 4 per guy and then be at 100 and then have a complete game. How cool would that be for a guy that's, from the Tacoma Rainiers, now on the Seattle Mariners based off all those injuries. And again, it's like, our farm is so talented. Sometimes it's nice to be able to bring those guys up, and they can actually surprise rather than, sticking with these old guys that we already know what we're going to get out of them. Solano and Garver, Masterboni, even though he's not that old, like Garver and Solano are, but you know what I mean. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Chafin Williamson. Stand with Ukraine in the building. What's good? No, Kirby's too good, bro. You have to understand how good George Kirby is. George Kirby, is normally a top 20 pitcher in the league. Sometimes he'll pitch like a top 10, and Logan Gilbert is a top 10. So, Kirby is not going to be, he had that one rough start, but, they're never going to send him, to AAA or trade him. It's like he's one of the guys, So Gilbert, Kirby, Wu, if you were going to get one of the guys out of there, it would be Castillo or Miller or both, depending on if we had, like at some point, be Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, maybe Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo get replaced by Logan Evans, and maybe Durangelo, our draft pick that can pitch left and right. At some point that might be our future, where Bryce might, be like the sixth guy, like the Emerson Hancock, like the emergency guy, at one point, and then Castillo, we know he's getting up there in age. So, and can you imagine? Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, right? Logan Evans, and then Durangelo as a 5, because they're training him to be a starter. And if once we have that lineup, oh man, it's going to be lights out. Let me tell you. Pitch fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ben Williamson. Let's go, Big Ben. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-1 Mariners. Go. We need 6 more likes to hit the goal for the night. And again, we got 2 innings to get there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help me and Captain get to 50. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. This is exactly what my soul needed. And it just kind of stinks that my pup is sick, and she's been kind of under the weather since Friday. Pitch fouled off again. Man, Williamson really knows how to hit foul balls. 5 consecutive foul balls in a row. Slider, sinker, 4-seam fastball, slider, 4-seam fastball. I love this kid. Grind, 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 grind. Let's go, Big Ben. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-1 Seattle. Andy with a 5-er. I appreciate you, Andy. Andy's first dono to the stream, maybe ever. Pitch number 11, high and away. That might be one of the longest at-bats we've seen all season. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ben Williamson. And shout out to Andy Phillips, $5 dono. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with the little cactus jack, bang, bang. Andy, if you're in the room still, let me know if there's any photos that you want, and I got you. In play, and Williamson singles to center on the 12th pitch at the at-bat, fouls off 5 in a row, takes a ball, and then gets a base hit. I'm telling you, this kid is super special. Nice job, Big Ben. How many guys would be able to go through 5 foul balls and go 12 pitches in an at-bat and then finally get a single? Not fucking many. Even guys like Julio and Cal might not be able to do what he just did right there. Awesome. Next up is J.P. Crawford, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a base on ball. Bottom of the 8th with a runner at first. First pitch to J.P. fouled off, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking after that foul ball, behind in the count now 0-2. I think pitching from both sides, that when you're pitching, you can't switch left and right, in between, like, who's ever at bat. So, like, let's say we're going against James Wood. You can't go left hand, for one pitch, right hand for another pitch. Imagine if you could. That would be like the most deadly thing ever. Like, how do you even match up and strategize against that? But I think you have to pitch lefty to one guy, and then if you choose to go righty to the next guy, so whatever their weak side, is, depending on if they're a switch hitter or, they're a lefty or a righty hitter, then you can kind of adjust as a pitcher, lefty on righty, righty on lefty. And then if you so want to go lefty on lefty, righty on righty, that's up to you, but again, he's definitely a special player. And again, to be able to pitch lefty and righty, he's really the only player in MLB that can do it. And I've been watching him, obviously, in the farm, and he's developing very nicely, and they're not going to have him as a bullpen guy. They're trying to get him to be like the new Brian Wu, to have him as like the 5, whenever he's ready. So at some point, if Castillo and Miller are not on our team, or they're old at that point, or not playing up to their standard, then it'll be Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Logan Evans, and Durangelo. So, which is outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes from Chafin to Crawford. And there's a walk. Nice job by JP. Great job by Big Ben, getting a hit on that 12-pitch at-bat. JP Crawford taking a 6-pitch walk. We'll take that. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Can he go for another home run? 2-run home run with JP on board in the first. Can you get a 3-run jack here late in the matchup in the 8th? Let's go J-Rod. Trident's up. First pitch, right down the middle, fouled off. That would have been the pitch to go yard right there. Just a little bit behind that baseball on that pitch from Chafin. 0-1 count. Let's go. We got to 50, baby. Yeah, but I mean, imagine if there was no rules. I mean, eventually, pitching left, right, left, right, left, right. Again, that would be obviously taxing. You don't want him to have Tommy John on both fucking hands or both arms. But I can't wait to be able to see him. I mean, that's probably the guy that I'm most excited to see. And I'm really excited about Harry Ford and Cole Young and Colt Emerson and Lazaro Montez and Felman Celestin. And I mean, there's plenty of guys. There's like 10 or 11 guys that we got, but. The most intriguing prospect is definitely Durangelo, because it's just crazy to think a guy could be that good pitching from the left and the right. And even his weak hand, he's really good, so we'll see how he develops. And again, at some point, that will be our 5 pitcher. And if he ends up being good, maybe he'll end up being the number 4 guy or the number 3 guy before his career is all said and done. 0-2 pitch. And Julio in play, gets a single to right. Crawford to second, Williamson to third, and we got bases loaded. And you know what happens when we get bases loaded and this guy comes up? He's already got 2 home runs in the game. Is it time for number 3? Trident's up. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's make this game 11-1. Let's be electric today. Let's go. First pitch, high and away with a sinker, 1-0 count. Brent in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 8th inning, bases loaded, Chafin on the mound, big dumper in the box. 1-1 pitch, takes the strike swinging, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That could have been the home run pitch there. Julio had one and Cal had one, but they just missed on connecting on the sweet spot on the bat there. And we know Cal's got that torpedo bat. And again, it would be crazy if he was to hit 3 home runs in a game from his weak side, all from the right-hand side. And big swing and a miss. No 3-run home run game for Cal Raleigh, but we can still forgive him for that. 1 away. Next up, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, Randy Arozarena. Now, if we can get him hit, on the shoulder, he doesn't get hurt, and we get a freebie run, why not? Again, he's been hit just like Ty France. He's obviously the new Ty France. And we know how often Ty was getting hit. Randy's getting it plunked, just on that same kind of pace. And again, sometimes he gets plunked once a game. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times. And as long as he doesn't get hurt, so be it. But eventually, if you get hit that often, you're going to get injured and whatnot. Maybe it'll help him with his effort, for hustling in left field. But let's see if Randy can force a walk and we can get a cheapie run coming in, or if he gets hit by a pitch and we can get a cheapie to come in from third. Randy, little dribbler. And there we go. Hey, let's get to 8. Let's get to 9. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice job by Randy Arozarena. Fielder's choice, runner out. Arozarena into a fielder's choice into third, and we end up scoring 2 runs, baby. Let's go. Next up is Mitch Garver. First pitch, and he's about to fly out to right, but not after the damage is done. Nice job by Randy Arozarena. It wasn't the sexiest thing that I've ever seen, but it might have been the most non-sexy, 2-run RBI in maybe baseball history. But at this point, we'll take it. 9-1 Mariners. Let's go to the top of the 9th inning, and we'll see who is up for the Nats. Next up for the Nationals, 0 for 3 with a K, shortstop C.J. Abrams. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a solo dinger and 2 Ks. The best player on the team, a guy that I really like to follow, James Wood. If you're going to follow one player on the Nats, it's this guy. If there's anyone that's going to do anything on the team ever, it's him. So again, as long as he does something cool, but we win 9-1 like today, I'm okay with it. And batting third, 1 for 3, first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. Let's go Mariners. And we got Bizzardo coming in. They're not going to have Evans go all 9 innings. Back when I was a kid, Nolan Ryan would go all 9, and that was kind of a common thing. But again, you don't want to have anyone have Tommy John like Matt Brash. So you got to be careful, with the guys. But what a performance by Logan Evans and the offense today. Definitely makes me forget what happened in that Astros series. And, hopefully Paisley won't get sick for our victory walk. It's been pretty hot here in the Pacific Northwest, so I don't want her to get dehydrated. But at least knowing that tonight's walk is going to be a victory walk. And there's a good chance that we could sweep this team. And we should. We got a 9-game, homestand, right? So, again, we've had some rough ones on the road. And, again, if we can go 6-3 or better at home, preferably 7-2 or better, we're going to make up, for those losses that we had where we should have won 3 out of 4 against the Stros, or at least at the bare minimum split, 2-2. But, again, our bullpen kind of fucked us. But tomorrow we got George Kirby on the mound. He's got a 12.27 ERA that should go down to about 5 or 6 by tomorrow, hopefully. And hopefully Kirby will be wheeling and dealing. C.J. Abrams in the box. And Edward Bizzardo on the mound. First pitch from Bizzardo to C.J. Abrams, low and at the knees, four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. Let's go. What's the updated home run numbers, Captain, based on everyone that played today? Cal has 2. Where is Ohtani at? Where is Judge at? And where's Cal Raleigh at? Someone needs to look that up in the chat. And we know Kyle Schwarber, is up there as well. It's like Ohtani and Schwarber. Those are the main 4. And obviously Eugenio Suarez is right behind them. But it's like, Ohtani, Judge, Cal Raleigh, Schwarber. Where are we at on the home run numbers? Popped up and out, 1 away. Down goes C.J. Abrams. Next up, the best player on the team, left fielder James Wood. Drafted by the Padres. How do you let a guy like this go? My goodness. Can you imagine if he was on the Padres? Unbelievable. First pitch. Low and inside. 1-0 count with that sinker by Bizzardo. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike swinging. Big swing and a miss by James Wood. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Wood. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the same spot with the slider. Back-to-back sliders, 80 miles an hour. That fooled James Wood. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Let's go, baby. And Wood struck out looking. 2 away. This would be an opportunity where, imagine how many games that, if we wanted to, we just throw fucking Andres Munoz out there. How long is he going to have an ERA of 0? How many games are we going to be in? Are we going to be in like 100 games and he's still going to be at 0? I can't believe that we're 50 games plus in, 52, 53, and he's still at 0, the best closer in baseball. Next up, first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. First pitch, at the knees, 1-0 count with that sinker. We're 1 out away, baby, from a victory. 1-0 pitch, fouled off with a four-seam fastball in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nathaniel Lowe. Let's go, Pizzardo. Ana. Buenos dias. Buenos noches. Buenos tardes. Vamos, maneros. Shohei's at 20. Where is Cal Raleigh at 19? Cal's at 19 with 2 today, right? And then what's Judge at? Is Judge at 18 or 19? And then Schwarber is around 17 or 18 as well, I believe. I mean, I haven't looked at it, because I'm working right now, so I haven't got a chance to check to look at the updated numbers, but I'll definitely be checking tonight. Pitch fouled off, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Edward Bizzardo. And there it is. Final score, Seattle Mariners 9, Washington Nationals 1, baby. I love it. Hell yeah. Nice job, Bizzardo. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win! Mariners win! Mariners win! Final score, Seattle Mariners 9, Washington Nationals 1. And we will be live tomorrow. Same time, same place, I believe. I think all the games in the series are going to be on around the same time. So tomorrow's matchup is going to be at the same time, 6:40 Pacific. George Kirby on the mound going against Williams, who's 2-5. So I like our chances in that game. And then on Thursday, there's only 4 games on, and this one will be nationally televised on FS1, and that's going to be also at the same time, and that'll be Emerson Hancock on the mound at 6:40. So I already got the thumbnails already made. So here's tomorrow's. Here's a little sneak peek for tomorrow's thumb. Even though George got fucked up in his first start, I'm still going to give him the love and respect, and hopefully putting him on the thumb, he'll have a nice outing tomorrow. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Seattle Mariners 9, Washington Nationals 1. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And let's take a look here at captain. So Shohei's at 20. Cal is second with 19, 2 today. And then Judge Schwarber is third with 18. Thank you so much for looking that up. And then Eugenio Suarez. Hell yeah. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Again, we'll be live again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have the same result, and we can sweep this team. I mean, we have the ability to do it. I'm not saying that every game is going to be 9-1, but there's a chance that we could score 5 runs, in every game against the Nats and only give up 1 to 3. And so far, an 8-run win in game number 1, that definitely is good vibes only. And love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Have a good rest of your Tuesday evening. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Captain, appreciate you. You're the man. And thank you so much for your help, obviously, with the mod duties. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Trident's up, go Mariners, and I'm out. Guys.